Excuse me, you guys seem to have a little powder on your nose. Have you been sniffing the good stuff? No comment? Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. To all my subscribers, thanks for subscribing. Support family farms. As you can see, I'm out standing in the field right now. It has rained for 16 hours straight. Not very hard, but for 16 hours straight. Got an 1.60 inch total out of it. Gladly needed. We'll sure take it. The corn crop is looking fantastic. I'm out here in the mud this morning checking it out. This is our very first field of corn that we planted this year. It has been in the ground for 58 days. It is at the vegetative stage 11 right now, and as you can tell, it's almost shoulder height on me, and I'm about 5'10" for comparison. Tall corn don't mean nothing. We need to get this corn crop to the point where it starts pollinating, which should be in the next week or two. And then we really need a rain after that for this field here. The other corn that we have planted this year, it's obviously a little bit more behind that, but timely rains once it starts pollinating would be much appreciated if God's listening to this message. It's very clean in the field. We did a 2-pass program on this field and it worked out really good. There's absolutely no weeds and nothing competing with the plants for nutrients. There is no yellowing across the field as I look, which means there's no nitrogen leaching, which is also another positive. It's an absolutely beautiful morning after the rain. Today is June 21st. For me, that is one of my top 5 favorite days of the year. Not because today is Father's Day, which it is. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It's the first day officially of summer, which unfortunately means now the days are going to be getting shorter. I love it when the days get longer, where there's more daylight during the day. Not a fan of December 21st, even though Christmas is right around the corner, where it's the shortest day of the year. But I love when the sun's up when I get up. I love when the sun's up when I get home. I just showed you our first planted field of corn, and now I'll show you our last field of corn that we planted. It is muddy here too. This is approximately 15 miles north and west of where we just were. This corn is at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vegetative stage. Just count the leaves to get that. It's quite a little bit shorter here. It's only about thigh high on me. We're also at the end row, so that makes a little bit of a difference too. I'm not worried about the poor stand on the hill here. Obviously the water runs down the hill here. It is a very sloped farm. You can tell from the hills. We did a 2-pass program on this field too, and it's probably a good thing I did, because This field has probably 2 or 3 weeks before it's canopied. I don't want Mr. Pigweed getting much bigger than that. If not, he'll seed out and then we'll have a heck of a problem next year. A lot of pigweed in this field. Pigweed, water hemp, whatever you want to call it. I call it pigweed because when I walk beans, that's what we called it. This corn was planted 10 days later than that other field I just showed you. We got all of our corn within a 10-day period, so you can see what just a difference 10 days makes. It's not a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. You can't obviously combine everything within 10 days that we have. Takes a lot of logistics to move the combine, the semis, auger wagon, pickup, stuff like that. So that's all right. This is a little bit behind. This will probably be our last field that's harvested. And once again, that's all right with me. But at least the crop looks good. No yellowing. That's what I'm looking for here. Yellowing or leaching of nitrogen as I look out across the field. If there was yellowing, I'd have to come in here with a ground rig and spray some nitrogen over the top, pelletized nitrogen, but there's no need for that. There is a lot of side dressing going on in the area. That is a dry spreader box machine with nitrogen, pelletized nitrogen in the box that drives up and down the rows, spreading the nitrogen out across the field. The reasoning behind that is to hopefully gain a few more bushels when you're combining the crop. Getting the mud off my boots. But with the cost of nitrogen right now in application, the cost is ranging anywhere from $43 to $60 an acre, with corn at $3.80 for old crop right now. You could do the math. I don't know if I want to gamble 20 bushels off the top of my crop in order to hopefully gain on top of that, because if the rain shuts off, all that would be for nothing. So I'm gonna not spread dry fertilizer across my field at this point in time. Every year we send the combine off to the shop to get inspected. That's no different this year. We change oil in it, grease it, check all the fluids in it like normal people do. But there's some things that we're not aware of that a trained technician has the eyes to look at and to see. Then they give us the recommendations about what they would fix, what they would replace. We do a lot of those repairs ourselves once they go through the inspection process. If it's something that's too much work, we let them do, but the easy stuff, the normal maintenance stuff, that's things that we do. It's been a while since the old 7140's been started. Probably need to make sure she'll start in order to make it on the truck in order to get to the dealer. So we'll start with that. Got to engage the battery there. We got a battery shut off on the combine. You know what I need to do? I need to inspect the engine compartment first, make sure there's no critters in there before I even turn the key. Nobody in here? It'd be pretty bad if there's a rodent in here. Let's try to start it up. Looks pretty clean to me. Even though the machine sits in the shed, obviously, you can never be too sure. It would definitely wreck a lot of stuff if a coon or something got caught up in the fan blade. Let's get her started. Yep, I know the rear liner's down. That's positive. Has it been started for 7 months or so? It should fire right up. Let it run a little bit since there is depth in this system, and it hasn't been ran like I said, so we'll let it warm up just a little bit before you pull it out of the shed. My bean field was also sprayed this week before it rained. Thankfully, before it rained. Weeds pretty bad in it. A lot of volunteer corn for some reason. It's like a lot of velvet leaf too, or button weeds. Grass. That's all dying. These are actually pretty good beans. Bootstrap high. Bootstrap. Good growth on them. These have been in the ground for 35 days. The replanted beans that you can see right there, those have been in the ground for about 15 days. Those are looking really good as well. Beans, you really don't care if you interplant like that. Soybean plants love competition. That's what they're getting here with this. You can see the replanted beans there versus the original row. That's why we replanted the beans and just shot them right in here. Beans, it's not that important to till up the ground if you're going to replant into it. Let's look and see how our drilled beans are doing here. This is the field where we got side-by-side rowed and drilled beans. Looks like the sprayer operator got a little cattywampus here. Not quite sure why he went at an angle, but sure ran over that row. Things are looking good for the 21st of June. I can't yell at the sprayer operator too much. It's my younger brother, so you're not fired yet, unfortunately. You or the co-op. Thank you. For not own our own commercial sprayer or big sprayer. All we have is just a little one that you guys saw this spring when I was spraying pastures. That's way too small to cover the amount of acres that we have, so we contract our spraying out with the local co-op. Maybe someday we'll buy our own sprayer, but just the cost involved with it's a little prohibitive for us, and also just the time factor as well. It's hard to find the time to spray it when we're busy with hay and with cows and everything else that the farm entails. So if the co-op can get our stuff sprayed in a timely fashion like they are this year, we're just going to leave it to the professionals. Cows were all just in getting a drink. They're enjoying life on the grass. Check and see if they need any mineral. Nope. All good here. This smells like you'd imagine a pig pen would smell like. Dry lot for the cows isn't very dry today. Still just the two babies in here, it looks like. Mom ain't too worried about you, is she? Watching that Belty over there, and the gosh darn Tyler came up right next to me and scared the crap out of me. If he's by himself, I trust him, but when he's around women, I don't know if I necessarily trust him all that much. little corn patch here, that's going to be our test plot for the year. It didn't get any liquid nitrogen fertilizer this year, but instead what we did was we put down a healthy dose of dry urea yesterday before it rained. As you can see, it's all getting absorbed into the soil. This was planted really late. By really late, I mean the second week in June, early second week in June. She's already 6 inches tall with the fertilizer I got yesterday. Excited to see what it looks like here in a week. But it ain't too bad for not getting any liquid fertilizer. Andrew took the camera this week and took a little video of him moving bales. I think I'll insert this video right here.
Good morning, guys. It's almost noon. Well, 2 hours away from noon, but still pretty close. 2 days ago, I raked this patch. It's pretty little. And it also connects to that little sketchy waterway. And this one's big. It goes all the way back over there. That was Wednesday when I did it, and today's Friday. So now we gotta pick up the bales and line them up. That right here is the worst part about this field. But someone's gotta do it. Alright, so now I got one on the front and one on the back. So now we gotta go put it in along the trees. And the reason it doesn't pick up as good is because it's like a fresh bale, so it like hasn't completely settled yet. That's why it's a little wonky up there. But let's cross this ditch. And I got it all the way tilted back, and it's about parallel, which is questionable, but we'll do it. Baby, let's ride. It's not the destination, all about the ride. In summertime sunshine, 30 block all the time, and I'm yours, you're mine. We got our hair blowing back from the wind in our face. It's just another day, you and me out on the lake. And as the sun slips by, climb on, hold on, right on time. Tomorrow let's ride, baby, let's ride, baby, let's ride, let's ride. So I got them all picked up. They're in the trees over there. And I got the rear one on, obviously, the front one. And about 2 miles-ish that way, there's another 30 bales-ish that we cut. So since it's close enough, rather than going back home and bringing the hay trailer, I'm gonna line them all up since I have 2 spears, and then I'll go get the trailer, and then we're gonna load them onto the trailer. Let's do it. All right, we're here at the final stretch with the last load. Just got to get over this hill. And tomorrow, my dad and I are probably gonna go pick up the bales that are at by some people's houses. That's more so a 2-person job than a 1-person job, because you can't really drop the trailer. Sure appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, if you would, please consider liking and subscribing.